So before I begin, I once more want to wish all of those who are in the role of a mother, very happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day!
I hope you get to enjoy your day today. So, back in late February, my partner and I went to see the snow geese that were migrating back to the Arctic. Now, it's actually pretty cool to watch these and other birds as they travel in very large groups. The one thing about geese is how they support each other. When we see Canada geese, for example, flying in their V-shaped formation, they're in this aerodynamic pattern that means that geese in the back feel less of that air pressure as they're traveling. In return, the geese all honk in order to encourage the leaders to continue moving forward. Eventually, when the goose leading the pack gets too tired, or if a goose gets injured, that goose will pull away from the formation, and another goose will also leave the formation to join them. So they won't be alone, and they will stay with each other until well enough to join another group that's traveling in that direction. The importance of community and of supporting each other, even with geese, shows us the power of being present to each other. That even when we may be feeling tired or burnt out, that we don't have to be alone. As we watched the snow geese from a distance, all of a sudden, a threat became apparent as a bald eagle took off and soared towards the resting geese, hoping to catch one of them. As soon as the bald eagle took off, however, the alarm was raised, and the entire group of snow geese, about 30,000 of them or more, took off from the water, all of them flying in formation, just flying around, creating a wall of white, which the bald eagle actually got caught up in and unable to do the hunting that it was expecting to do. Now, as we were watching this, my partner commented, "It's interesting that they all rose up to save one of their own." When one felt threatened, the entire flock of snow geese rose up to protect not only that one goose, but each other. The geese that stayed closest to the flock were the ones that were able to be better protected. Now, as we think about this related to recovery, we can clearly see how there is power in numbers. Just like the snow geese who support each other during their journey and when under threat, we need to surround ourselves with people who uplift us. Whether it's friends, family, or support groups, having a network can make all the difference. When one of us stumbles, we can lean on each other to rise again. This sense of belonging helps us to build up resilience and encourages us to keep moving forward. As a TED Talk from Johann Hari states, the opposite of addiction is connection. When we're in a space of isolation or around people who are not so healthy for us, we risk becoming targets for the proverbial bald eagle to attack us, the substance or alcohol use disorder that's trying to destroy us. When we're with people who have our backs, who know what the journey looks and feels like because they're on it too, we may feel seen and heard, maybe for the first time. When we have people who are looking out for us and who can rise up with us when we feel we may be stumbling, then we begin to find hope. Hope in those relationships that are forming. Another thing about snow geese is, like a lot of different birds, they're only around for in a particular area for a short period of time. And if you don't make time to actually go and see them, there's a chance you might miss them. Now this reminds me of the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where Ferris says, how many of you all have seen that movie? I love that movie so much. Good, so this reference won't be lost on you. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Now this quote is a simple reminder that we often get so caught up in our daily grind that we forget to appreciate what's happening around us. In our own lives, just like those snow geese, we're all traveling through different seasons and time is something that we can't get back. Each moment is valuable. In the rush of our everyday lives, we often forget how important it is to connect with others, to connect with nature, which in turn can connect us back to ourselves on a deeper level, grounding us and making our experiences richer. Think about that flock of snow geese flying in formation. Each bird has a role to play, and they work together to navigate their journey. As I mentioned earlier, when one bird is struggling, the others rally round it, showing us the strength that comes from unity. And no bird flies away from the flock alone. They're all accompanied by at least one other bird. In recovery, unity and having the right support is crucial. Life can feel pretty overwhelming, and it's easy to get caught up in the chaos. When we're struggling, we often miss the beauty around us and the progress that we're making. Taking a moment to pause and reflect can help us stay grounded and focused on our journey. Just like how the snow geese transition to different locations as the seasons change, finding more hospitable locations. So our lives also go through many changes and transitions. Some places that used to be familiar and comfortable for us may become uncomfortable and unhealthy, and we may need to give ourselves permission to leave that flock, so to speak, and find new pastures. Pastures, not pastors. So we may also find interests that motivate us and bring us a sense of happiness and joy. We might also get back to the sweetness of the ones that we did enjoy prior to our using or drinking. So as we move through these transitions in our lives, some of our old friends may accompany us on these journeys, just like the goose that joined the one that fell away. But again, just like those geese that have to fall away from the old flock, we will encounter new groups of people and new support systems. Each season of our lives brings new challenges and opportunities, and learning how to navigate these can give us new insight about ourselves, even in the tough times. Now, going back to the Ferris Bueller quote, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Learning how to fully embrace life, every aspect of life, the good times, the rough times, to be able to stop, take a break every once in a while. These are the things that we all need. How do we get there? It starts with balance. Recovery isn't simply about stopping a substance or alcohol use. It's about finding rest and renewal in our lives. Snow geese don't fly all out to the Arctic in one shot. They stop at certain sites along the way for however long they need, until they feel sufficiently rested and the weather is warming up, and then they are ready to move on to the next area. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is another reminder that sometimes we may need to take a break, to step back and recharge. Now, for those who know the movie, Ferris and his friends took the day off, running around the city of Chicago and having a whole bunch of adventures. However, one of the trio, Caron, initially wanted to hole up in his room and do nothing all day. He felt sick. But for him, his sickness was more of a part of his emotional state of being, and so he isolated. He was rusting out, being caught in fear, shame, and anxiousness. And I'm sure there are many here who are familiar with that scenario. Simply wanting to hide away from the world. However, this may be considered existing, but it surely is not living. It's surely not embracing our best lives. Life does move pretty fast, and taking time for ourselves, both resting but also enjoying the moments and the people around us, partners, families, friends, kids, grandkids, pets, nature, concerts, sports, sunrises, sunsets, and so many other things. If we don't stop to look around every once in a while, we could indeed miss it. We need to learn the balance between getting adequate rest and enjoying our lives. One thing I frequently say is that you don't exist to live your life going to meetings. Meetings exist to get you back to living your life. As a result of going to meetings, whatever those meetings may be, you find people that you may begin to build friendships with. Maybe the Ferrises of the world who drag you into all kinds of adventures when you're not feeling so great about yourself. Maybe you'll get back to the things that have brought you joy in the past, that you can do sober with these new or even existing friends. Now this leads us to the next part of embracing life, and that is community. An old African proverb reads, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." For those who have seen the movie, however, Ferris Bueller went both far and fast as he convinced Cameron to hand over the keys to his dad's Ferrari 250 GT California Spider. Kids, don't do that at home. But seriously, in recovery, it's so important, as I mentioned earlier, like the snow geese who support each other during their journey. We need to surround ourselves with people who are going to lift us up. Having that community of support can make all the difference as we feel a sense of belonging, which helps us to build up resilience and encourages us to keep moving forward. Throughout history, we've seen how communities come together in tough times. Think of social movements, natural disasters, or other situations. These moments show us that unity can lead to change. We realize we're not alone. Our challenges are shared, and together we can tackle things that might feel impossible. You know, I hope we all find friends who are kind of like Ferris, not as in taking the car keys, but who can remind us of the importance of working together, having fun together, and learning how to have fun by doing things that we may not ordinarily do, like go to the art museum, the baseball game, the fancy restaurant, pretending to be the sausage king of Chicago, going to the parade, and not getting on a float and trying to sing and stuff like that. Or maybe getting on the float and trying to sing. could be fun. The thing is that when Ferris skipped school that day, PSA kids, stay in school, he didn't want to have a fun day by himself. He wanted to bring his friends along. Now, we all need friends like this. It may have been easier for him to do those things alone, but it became fun when he brought his friends along. Going back to that quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Finding those friends on the recovery journey that can remind us that life is fun shows us the true meaning of embracing life. We're not in this on our own. We're in this together. And having that friend who would go to bat for you, who's not just there in the good times, but will be there for you no matter what, can be so essential to anyone. I often say that we become who we surround ourselves with. When we surround ourselves with people who enjoy life, it leads us to getting back to the richness of life. Find those people, stay close to them. As we navigate the journey of recovery, let's remember another old saying, that just like life, recovery is a journey, not a destination. Each step, no matter how small, is part of our growth. Like the snow geese facing the bald eagle, we might find challenges along the way, but when these setbacks occur, with the support of our community and the lessons we learn, we can rise again. When we take the time to appreciate the present, we understand our shared experiences a bit better. We see that our joys and our struggles are part of a bigger picture. This understanding helps empathy and compassion grow up, allowing us to lift each other up when needed. So as we move through our lives, let's remember that every moment holds that potential for connection, for building friendships, and for building relationships. Life moves pretty fast. But if we intentionally engage with our surroundings and the people in them, we can create lasting memories and meaningful relationships. So I'd like to encourage you to take Ferris Bueller's advice to heart. Stop, look around, appreciate the beauty of this world and recognize the role of community in your life. When one of us is in trouble, just like those snow geese, let's rise up together, united in strength and purpose. Let's appreciate the moments that we have, support one another, and celebrate this incredible journey together. Amen.
Amen.